Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Welcome to the Weekly Steelchair. Welcome to your AEW Dynamite review, where bullshit is welcome, entertainment is accepted, Disney fans are put to sleep, and pro wrestling spoken about properly. And no, Catherine, no. There's only one person I want that to be, and that only. Honestly, Nick, you are not wrong. Well, you're kind of wrong, but you're not fully wrong. It should have been the main event. But I'm going to give a huge... Actually, hold on. I need the appropriate banner. Don't think he's being offensive by that. I think those comments are okay. I mean, if circumstance. I'm not too bad, Roy Sheen. I'm heavy painkillers, but apart from that, I'm good. How is everybody as well? Hope you're all doing well. Appreciate it, Keen. SummerSlam as well this weekend. I do have the prediction show for both nights. Do have a SummerSlam quiz. Need to get that out the bag. What else? There's something else that's really important. Yes, that's what it was. Obviously you guys know on the Japanese content, myself and Josiah going forward is myself and Josiah obviously do the New Japan content, but I'm looking to get hopefully maybe more people involved on the channel for certain things they like, because truth be told, as much as I like doing all this on my own, I want a variety of people on the show. I want a lot of people that can just enjoy themselves talking pro wrestling and just expand in that way and just enjoy the enjoyment of what you can get on here instead of being, well, you're on here that you're expected to do X, Y, Z. No, you can be free on here and have fun. Just if you're going to ask for me to help you subscribe, go fuck off somewhere else, because that's not how it goes. I do not like Dana Brooke. This needs to end. You heartless bastards. What day is it tomorrow? Friday. I'll be live about 7:30, 8 o'clock UK time. Certainly gonna fire things up in that way, but we're gonna kill it. He can fire shots all he wants. Nobody really cares. What's up, James? Good to see you, brother. The funny thing is, you're opening with stars, but you're opening it the wrong way. They got it wrong. I'm not going to come in here and say last night was a perfect show. I'm going to be very honest. Last night was a Dynamite that I have a lot of issues with. Reece, can you confirm if Ash by Elegance asked you on a date, you would say no? 100% I would say no. 100%. Put a gun to my head, threaten me with a katana sword, drop a nuclear bomb on me, I would honestly say kill me instead. I would not even bother. And I'm saying it with a straight face. If you said to me, would you go on a date with her? I would say no, straight away. Straight away. I honestly don't, Fernando. No, I'm not hating on. I'm not hating on AEW at all. I'm just going back to what I did a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was more than that. It was the last time Matthew was on the channel. If you remember, myself and Matthew, we spoke about show formulas and how the show should pan out. I like who was on the show. I just don't like the order. I think they got the order wrong personally for the show. For me, in my opinion, if you've got a world title rematch from your biggest event, that should be your main event. For me, Athena and Billie Starks versus Toni Storm and Alex Windsor should have been either the semi-main of the show or it should have been the opener. The Bucks, the Outrunners, exactly the same. I'm not hating on the show. I'm not hating the whole thing. I'm just saying if this was WWE and they had a WWE title match or a world title match and it wasn't the main event, I would be calling that out as well. Like I'm not gonna just go and sacrifice what I think just because people are gonna get upset about it. Like I'm gonna say the same thing for SummerSlam. No, Catherine, no, 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 not no. I would literally jump off. I would run and dive in the sea. I was a bit baffled that world title rematch wasn't main event. It should have been. Like, it's not. Like, Catherine makes a good point. It doesn't always have to be a world title match main event the show. But this is a rematch from your biggest pay per view. Therefore, it should be the main event. Like, there's some things that should be, and there's some things that shouldn't be. Any other time, so be it. If the world champion's in action, the world champion doesn't have to be the main event. But if the world champion is defending his title, then it should be the main event. I think that for me is a problem. So, and I've seen and before anyone says you've not brought up another company yet, TNA did it multiple times, and that pissed me off too. Like that sort of shit, I can't grip with. Like if you're in the opening match, your title's not on the line. I'm not gonna get up and get annoyed by it. That's fine. That lets other people shine. But if the world title is on the line, that should be your main event. There's no excuses. Plain and simple. Let them bitch. Let them moan. Like in circumstance, what I'm saying isn't a bad thing. Like I said there, if the world champion is on the show and he's not defending his title, then he can open the show. He can be midway through. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But my world champion is defending his belt. That bastard is going on last. The woman, however, absolutely. Like if there's no title on the line and it's a good women's story, let them main event the show. I'm okay with that. But you are right though. People are fickle. But I think for me, purely in respect, and this is what I'm saying, for me, there's an element to it. Like you've got to have like the right type of balance and the right way that you go about it, and that's why I'm saying it should have been the main event because it's the all-in world title rematch. But I still see where you're coming from, so I'm not going to say I'm not saying your opinion's wrong or anything like that at all, Catherine. I'm not. I respect your opinion. I appreciate you actually coming back on me on that one. But I stand by it. If it's a world title match, it must be the main event. In the middle of the show, I think is very risky. I think it's very risky to have a world title match that's not in the main event or even the opener. If it's the opening match of the show, I'm okay with that. provided there's no ad breaks. If it was like the first 30 minutes or first hour of the show, and it's a world title match, and there's no ad breaks, I'd be like, sign me up. Sign me up. So, like, if Moxley versus Hangman was the opener last night, and they had like a full half an hour to themselves, and there's no stupid breaks in between, I would be like, thank you. But it wasn't. It was in the middle of the show where it kind of stole a bit of enjoyment. The only thing that I'll say, though, and this is where I'm going to come back to Catherine's point a little bit. This is something I'm going to say, and this is not to... I'm not trying to cause a fight here. I'm just giving my own personal opinion. If you do what they did last night, and that's like a main focus, then I'm happy to put my personal opinion aside. That's what I'm saying, Zodiac. Like, I'm happy to put my opinion to the side based on the story that happened at the end of the show. But me, I prefer when a world title is the main event, because I feel like you can still add to the story, or a story, whilst the world title is the main event. But I still liked what we got. For me, it's just show order. It's not like I thought the show was terrible. I'm not thinking that at all before anyone comes at me. For me, it's just the landscape of how a show is panned out. That's all it is. If anything, I don't think last night's show was horrible. I actually really enjoyed it. I just don't enjoy show orders that, to me, just doesn't fit. To be fair, I know you've got an issue with Darby Allin and Hangman Bleach, but Darby Allin's just evening the score for Hangman. Although I do have a problem with Darby Allin, and we're going to come to him later on, don't worry. But I've got a different problem with him. And it's annoying because I really like Darby Allin. But again, it's not hate, it's just a problem. Ricochet main eventing, I don't think that's a worthy reason to skip a show. I think that's a little bit of a cheap cop-out. In my opinion, I think it's a cheap cop-out. I know you'll disagree, but I think to skip a show because of it is a bad idea. I actually thought the main event was good. That match actually works anywhere on the show. I think right now Mark Briscoe is really holding out in the strength of it. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad Mark won. He's evening the score, Bleach. Like, Hangman's being outnumbered by Claudio, by Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta, and Moxley. It's 4-1. If anything, the problem is outnumbered even more to an extent where it's not really believable. We need to see a little bit more of it. Yeah, like, see, James is on my understanding. Just speaking of people, my New Japan co-host. What's happening, Josiah? How are you, my brother? Actually, even better question. How are you feeling? Yep, that's absolutely true. I I did watch the ending promo and watch the rest of the show. Just skip 2 matches. It didn't mean a damn. Okay. So you're saying the matches don't mean anything. Then explain why Athena is going after the main person that she wants to get a hold of. Just remember what Alex Windsor represents. She's another part of Toni Storm's like entourage, but they're going to be a victim to Athena. Like the story is there. Like the story was actually confirmed last week. If anyone was listening to Athena's promo, like if you listen to Athena's promo, you know what the story is. Now Mark Briscoe and Ricochet have been going at it since Revolution in an extent, but it only heightened back up because of All in the Gauntlet match. Now, me personally, I think there's some things in there that could be a lot better. However, you've got someone in there like Ricochet who can have a good match with someone if you battle it out. And I like the dynamic that Mark Briscoe brings to a show. Like, I look at AEW's roster as a whole, and I think about the men's side, and I'm like, who do I want fundamentally on a show that I know is not going to cause any problems, is not going to damage the show in any way with boring shit, Orange Cassidy, for example, but somebody that will give something refreshing. And there's 2 people in particular that make sense. So, number 1 is always Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe actually is an enjoyment to watch. And the second isn't actually on telly at the minute. Well, he wasn't on last night's show. And I don't think he's been on for a little. Obviously, he's not been on for a little while since he got injured. But he's always reliable. Samoa Joe. They are 2 people I love being on AEW television. You can have incredible matches, for sure. But I like the 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes I get from a Mark Briscoe or Samoa Joe. Even if they're in a match and they cut a promo. Like, I like what I get from them. They are 2 guys that I will never stop enjoying. Even though for quite a while, Samoa Joe, between 2011 and 2014, was horrible in TNA. And I'm not saying horrible like... Try to think of something that American football fans will understand that won't be offensive. It's like going to a Dolphins game, but then you get stuck. You go to a Dolphins game, then you get stuck with you get stuck in the wrong arena and you end up watching some shitty event like baseball. Of course I'm not MJF. My chin is not manufactured. He gained loads of weight because he got lazy. He got very lazy. I'm looking forward to seeing him coming back. Orange Cassidy will be back before Full Gear. I think he returns it just after Wrestle Dream. At that point, I'll just disappear. I wish I could agree, but I can't. Don't worry, I'm not here to offend you guys in your sports. Don't worry. It could be a lot worse. Like, it could be a whole lot worse. We're going to talk about that, Bleach, because there's good possibilities tonight in terms of what we can get from that. I don't think Zodiac's happy that you said Gold Dodgers. It could be football. Depends on the football. You could be on a tech. I don't like cricket. Don't worry. I think cricket's the most boring sport on the planet. Like, honestly, I think it's so shit. Oh, Dodgers is better than the Cubs. I mean, if you ship one out, you can just take it from there. To be fair, I can't say much. My dad, when it comes to NFL, he's a New Orleans Saints fan. Put it this way, Maria. Cricket, the best way to understand it, don't watch it. Oh yeah, 100%. That is the only way he can redeem himself. Australian rules football is absolutely sick. Violent little fuckers. Oh, she has a bandwagon though. Think about it. She loves Hangman Page. Yes, Bleach is in the chat. Oh dear. Oh dear. How does it feel to know that you support a team that's basically the New York Yankees? We know you colored the hard dark on that poster so no one would know how much you love. What? What are you on about? I don't have a poster for Ash by Scumbag. I mean, to be fair, a twat supporting a twat makes sense. I mean, you do have a fair point. I'm so glad I'm not. You hate Hangman because he just told you the truth and you didn't like it, Catherine. We all know that if he was right in front of you, you'd rip his jacket off. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make Catherine hate me. Hold on. Christian's promo was actually interesting to say the least, Robert, but I do get where you're coming from. I think they got a few odd moments there. His promo was like, some of it was bizarre. Right. Anyway, I said Catherine is gonna hate me. Well, Fernando, considering the fact I would jump in the sea, there's your answer. I would literally jump in the sea. No, Matthew, I would jump in the water to get killed. I would rather drown than have that impact or be near Dana Brooke. I would rather drown. I'm not kidding. Not in this day and age, Bleach. Not in this day and age. Right, I need that. Now I need to add this. In this day and age, because Cena's been irrelevant since 2017. In fact, I'll go even for actually no, yeah, 2017. That works. Right. Now I need to do that. Nope, wrong button. That one. There we go. To be fair, the whole thing with Cody Rhodes is an oddball too. Don't worry. There we go. This should work. Just bringing in another version of me on the stream. 2 seconds, and I'm about to make Catherine. Catherine is about to drop so many hateful emojis. Like I can see it and I can feel it. Don't worry, I'm going to be nice. I did tell people not to rush when it comes to Okada. I did say you should be patient with him, and look what happens. But anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Let's see how Catherine reacts. Excellent. So Catherine's seen it. But now Catherine has to suffer this. Every time you bring up a certain hole, an absolute bitch, I can only be patient for so long, Catherine. I can only sit back and relax until I have to say, this is the means, this is the choice. And what we do is cowboy cans. Cowboy cans. So let the good times roll. So I've got a celebration, yeah. Like Catherine's gonna survive on that choice. Jesus, Catherine. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. Hold on.
Oh god.
Absolutely, Zodiac. Jeez, Robert, that's... Robert doesn't hold back, ladies and gentlemen. That is one brave man. Sorry, Catherine will be saying she wants Truth Magnum next. She wants Total Recall. Not the expensive kind. I think so, James. I think so. The only way that crew becomes important is if Deonna Purrazzo kicks them out and just takes over, and it's just Deonna Purrazzo. What's up, Ashton? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I generally can't stand her. If it was up to me, she'd have been kicked out of wrestling in 2015. Now, be honest, who did the Buckshot Lariat better, Logan Paul or Hangman Adam Page? Who did it the highest? It's still Hangman. But to be honest, there's one person who done it better than both of them. There's one person who's done it better than both of them. No, he won't get a title. I don't think he does. No, because it wasn't listed as a number one contenders match. It's literally just Hangman's got to do this. Elix Skipper. He will at some stage, yes. To be honest, I'm going the limb. I think they should have Mark Briscoe take the title of Hangman. I'm not saying they should rush to, oh, let's just end the title reign. But I actually think he would be the smartest choice. Because then you can have a proper title feud with MJF and Mark Briscoe. You don't remember it? Hold on. I'm saying it from different perspectives. Collision is on tonight, that's true. Wow, I open up YouTube to get the video of his buckshot lariat, but immediately there's a video on YouTube that's titled "Shameful: Triple H accused of faking emotion after Hulk Hogan's demise." Wow. But yeah, Elix Skipper. Mark Briscoe is everything that the wrestling business misses. I'm gonna have to be very, very fast here. All right, and I mean fast. But watch this. Smooth as fuck. Smooth as fuck. See, Hangman adds more into it. Like his one is a lot more like momentum in, whereas Elix Skipper just floats straight down. So you actually get a bit more of a momentum. So there's actually how you portray it and how you vary it makes it different. Cena's heel turn is exactly like 9 of his world title reigns, if not 10 of them. Awful. I already knew that's what he was going to do, win matches, but it's generally awful. But yeah, so what? Hangman's buckshot lariat has speed. Heel Cena couldn't murder a nun or a grandparent, let alone Hangman. And that's not even picking a side. Heel Cena's just crap. Like, it's not even like I've seen better heels. Like, I've seen better heels. I couldn't say it better myself. Honestly, I look at Cena's title reigns, right? His first one is his first reign and his third reign combined is 640 days. That's his first reign and his third reign combined. You added all the other little mini pleb ones in between. Random reigns that were like 30, 40 days, switching up with Randy Orton because he loved to just get his hands up his knob. Like, let's be real. See the people that love Randy Orton versus John Cena in 09 and like rest of 08 and 09. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. Shame on you. Shame on the lot of you. Because that title fucking feud is overrated. It is bollocks. The amount of times they traded the title was beyond ridiculous. That's why I don't care about that title feud. The 07 feud, on the other hand, was done correctly. I'll say that. SummerSlam, Unforgiven, completely fine. Obviously, he gets injured, so you don't get fucking. Obviously, you get the madness that he gets injured, so you don't get the last man standing. But apart from that, it's still not entertaining. Still not good. I'd sell more tickets too if I was a machine-built star. And Cena never needed a locker room. Sure about that? Or is that the same locker room that he's sticking the golden shovel down? Because there's plenty of that too. Jack Perry's a bit. Well, yeah. Not even a debate on that. Cena's heel run has done nothing for the business. I'll tell you what Cena run did help the business. 04 to 07. That did. I won't lie. To be fair, even when he did 2015, 2016 with his matches with like sort of Zayn and all the indie guys and then AJ Styles, I'll agree to that. I agree to that. But anything else? Nah. Cena's a better worker than Hangman. Well, if I was in the business for for 15 years before he even gets into it. I would expect him to be a better worker than Hangman Page. Here's the funny thing: if you define working, and I never liked the guy. Hogan was a better worker than Cena. If you want straight facts without a lie or a smile on my face, Hogan's a better worker than Cena. Yeah, 100% Ashton. Like, all that stuff really is remarkable. It is. It is remarkable the amount of stuff he did for that. Yeah, if I'm wrestling week in, week out 15 years, it definitely gives you something to do. Hogan sucked in America. I don't like the guy, but you stick him in a Japanese ring, there's something there. Like, you stick him in a Japanese ring, it's almost like his mind snaps. It's also crazy, he was the first IWGP World Champion, which should never have happened in the first place. Like, the mannerisms don't help. No one says that though. Even Hangman fans, they don't say he's better than AJ. No, Cena just needs to become PG and just stop being entertaining and just start being Sunday for the morons that don't matter. He went from somebody that you would actually want to see to becoming the biggest PG fraud you'll ever see. Or is that too harsh? Yeah, they know how to attract a crowd differently. I'll tell you one thing. Cena tried to entertain the adult audience and look what happened. Failed. Hogan at least understood the adult audience. That's why he changed the business. There's some things you can't get rid of, and that's one of them. There's some parts of this business I absolutely would get rid of. Oh yeah, it was. And then he decided, I'm just not going to do that. And I'm like, mate, you alienated thousands for that. As for SummerSlam, SummerSlam has my worries all over it. And I say that because I have no fucking clue. Oh yeah, Cena's definitely better at acting than Hulk Hogan. The extinguishable thing is, yes, he could if he wanted to, but it's not the manner of it. Yeah, absolutely stupid. Makes no difference. There's still going to be thugs whether he likes it or not. He basically gaslit his entire fan base. Cena's a better actor than Thunder Lips. Pretty much. I mean, he is Peacemaker, or maybe it's Pacemaker, depends on how he's doing. Yeah, and look what happened. One of them's actually enjoyable to watch. The other decided, nah, fuck it, part of my fan base don't matter anymore. I would rather watch Mike Santana than John Cena. Every day of the week. Twice on Sundays. Plain and simple. Give me someone more serious that actually enjoys the variety of all fans instead of somebody who purposely and deliberately alienated core fans that actually would have continued to enjoy it if he hadn't done it. Like, that, to me, is a piss take. And that's plain and simple. Well, it clearly is, because he's a mainstay in TNA right now. He's the hottest guy in the promotion. Or are you going to forget that? Like, plain and simple, like, no. Not a chance. I'll tell you what, though. He wouldn't even survive the Attitude Era. He wouldn't. He thrived in the PG era because he is a pansy. He went from being somebody that you could actually enjoy, like heel Cena 03 was actually really good. Ruthless Aggression is died because of Cena. Cena killed Ruthless Aggression. If you look at what was the enjoyment of Ruthless Aggression, he is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th name. All three Cena wouldn't. I mean, WCW 2000 he would because there was a shithole. But like during their main successful periods, no. Not even close. I mean, also to be fair, I've never seen someone so embarrassed on an entrance as I saw CM Punk at WrestleMania 22. Oh, that one's been mentioned as well. Well, he did it first. He gave him a chance, and he nearly got fired for it. He was just lucky, and I'll say this peacefully, he was lucky he could freestyle rap. If he couldn't do that, he would have been fucked off. I'm kind of glad he did that, though, because if he didn't do that, then we would never have got to see Kurt Angle superiorly mocking him in freestyle, which was absolutely funny. Yokozuna or Vader? I love Yokozuna, but Vader. Vader. 100% Vader. Because despite being a heavy guy, Vader never got lazy like Yoko did. I never got so obsessed with constantly eating food, gaining weight, losing focus in himself. Obviously, Vader was stiff as fuck, but he was also very proud. But 100% Vader. Yokozuna is one of the nicest people in the wrestling business, though, like to ever exist. But he got so lazy, and I'm like, damn. Well, when you look at it, he had 2 matches with him. Actually, no, he had 3. Hold on, 2 seconds. No, he had 4 matches with Taker in 2003. He had the 1 match in 2004. They had the match in 06, 1-on-1. They had a couple of tags in 07. Teamed together in 08. Did they wrestle against each other at any other point? Hold on. You didn't see again until WrestleMania. They kept them apart though. Like they kept them apart because it would have been tricky for Vince to say, do I go with my favorite or do I go with my main loyalist? To be fair, Taker and Cena, when I look at matches they had, only one of them stands out. Like only one of them is memorable, which is horrible, but it's not a lie. Only one Taker versus Cena match stands out. And for me, the one that stands out was Vengeance 2003. It would. We nearly got it at WrestleMania 23. But then Vince realized, actually, I can't have the Golden Goose beat Taker. Like, if Taker took the title shot against Cena at WrestleMania 23, Taker was losing. Cena over Warrior against my judgment? Nah, I don't think so. As much as the streak is important, I actually think Cena would have beaten him, especially at that period of time. I actually think if they made that match, I genuinely think Cena would have beat him in the ring, 100%. I'm totally like. But I think they went with the better option anyway. WrestleMania 23 had a massive mistake anyway. Well, 2. Not anymore, Bleach. I can't. Who do you prefer, Aries or Punk? Punk. Yeah, we should have done. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. See, you guys are asking a lot of good questions. In terms of location, yeah, but in terms of a wrestler, Punk is like galaxies better than Aries. That is correct. 100% Kurt Angle. 100% Kurt Angle. Jeff Hardy or RVD. Matches, finisher, overall appeal, RVD. RVD was a bigger star than Jeff Hardy until about 2007 when it kicked off for Hardy, and it all went on from there. Tajiri or Christopher Daniels? I love Christopher Daniels. Amazing wrestler, but Tajiri is the most underrated wrestler for me of all time. Ziggler was amazing, but it's Mr. Perfect. And we use his real name, not his horrible name. It's Nemeth. So, Perfect or Nemeth is perfect. It's not even a debate. Blah. Anyway. Awkward pain in my foot, not fun at all. Really awkward pain. Ow. Okay. Let's begin. I say that in the nicest way. Let us begin. Okay. So this is obviously the final Dynamite of the... Yeah, no worries, Zodiac. Don't worry. We won't be finished by the time you're back. We'll still be going. So Dynamite begins from the final residency event in Chicago. After this, they will be back on the road, new location. Obviously confirmed there's a world title match that should have been the main event. You've got a world tag team title eliminator tournament continues on. We've got another match for that. Winners will move to the semi-finals. You got a women's tag match. And of course you got Briscoe and Ricochet. You got the Hurt Syndicate throughout the show. You got MJF live. Christian Cage returns for the first time since All In. All In, there's a show. So yeah, it was. I think 7 shows in the same place though is a bit much. But I think they've done okay with Chicago. I think they've done okay. Opening contest obviously is the tag match. It's the Outrunners versus the Bucks. Personally, I thought this was hilarious. Like in terms of the circumstance, like I thought the Bucks' performance was hilarious to match up to what they're being called. The EVPs have lost their status and they're being continued to look like they're starting up fresh, or they're a new, like they're being like made to be a new tag team all over again. But I'm still liking that they're building that momentum as a consistent team looking to win matches in multiple ways. I like the dynamic variance. I thought, however, the Outrunners were going to win, and not because the Bucks should lose, but I thought the Outrunners would win based on recent comments, and I thought, well, do we need the Young Bucks in the semi-finals? I don't think so, but I can see at least whoever goes through absolutely will give you something. And I thought the match pacing was quite good. I think the Outrunners, I still think they're more Ring of Honor than AEW main roster, but I don't think they're a bad side at all. I actually think the Outrunners give a different variety to the wrestling in terms of a tag team. Both Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum aren't standout stars. They're not like one's bigger than the other. One's more bald than the other, but they're not bigger than the other in any shape or form. But I think we're getting a decent bit of momentum from them. I don't know where they go, however, from here, but still, good win. And I like the use of the Total Recall towards the very end. Obviously, the tag team influence from both sides is effective. Thought it was good. I think it was good in that way. Went on for too long. It's a tag team. It's a tournament title match. Do you want all tournament title matches to just be super slow? No. You actually want to see people get a run out. The Outrunners don't get a lot of mainstay time on a Dynamite or a Collision. If you're trying to make use of them, you don't sell them short. I actually think what they did with their time was fine. I didn't have any problem with it at all. I thought this before the match, after the match, the post-match segment, they cleared up really well. And Okada, of course, after the TK driver success for the Bucks, he comes out, congratulates them, beat the living hell out of the Outrunners before the main man Swerve comes out. We're definitely building to Swerve versus Okada for the unified title. Lock me fucking in. Lock me in for that, because that is going to steal the show when it happens. Really well done. I thought the fact that the 200K part of the pre-tape was just oddly funny. Oddly funny. We're building to Swerve versus Okada. We know I'm expecting Okada to beat Swerve, but the fact that Okada's first big feud for the AEW Unified Championship is against the former world champion, against somebody who actually rivals Okada in terms of intensity, that makes me excited. That's why I said we should be patient for whoever wins the Unified title first. That's why I was so happy that we've got this, because Swerve, by any means, whether he goes over or puts someone over, Swerve is that guy. And it's perfect the amount of time you're going to get, especially with Okada, where no one's going to get involved. There's just going to be two great wrestlers squaring off. We're being treated to two people who will work a heavy-hitting, fast-paced style with intent to destroy each other for the right to be champion. Give me more of that. Like, to quote a famous song, I want it all. I want it now. So key, so important. If you don't want it, suck it. Following this, we get an interview from Tony Schiavone. He is interviewing Christian Cage. Now, Christian Cage, when it comes to a promo, the guy certainly knows how to get the crowd to react. The trouble is, I think they jumped a few guns early with this promo. And that doesn't mean it's a bad promo. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, he should have only discussed the former patriarchy, now the matriarchy. He didn't need to bring up Copeland. And it's not because, oh, he was told to go find himself. No, he doesn't need to bring up Copeland because that should be later. Just say, I was given advice, I've went and took it, I don't know if it's working for me. The one thing that works for me is I'm going to get revenge. He didn't have to bring up names, he didn't have to address the situation, he could have just left it as it is. He's now said as well that he's now disowned Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. And truth be told, I don't think that works for him. Like, it's not that bad, but oh, he just automatically disowns him now, let's go. But I feel like if you're disowning them, then you're not going to add much more. Oh, Swerve vs Okada is going to be incredible. I like the fact that he mocked the comments that Mother Wayne made of him that he couldn't get up that night. And I like the fact that he just tore into her. But I just think they overshot it. And the best part about this promo is the concerto. If you really want to be honest, the conclusion with the violent attack, that's more enjoyable than Christian rambling for 5 minutes. And that's a problem. Because Christian is not a bad promo. He's not a bad promo at all. He's actually one of the best promos out there. But this was a weak ass promo. This was going from natural to cellulite. That's what this felt like. This felt like a Botox injection. Hold on 2 seconds. I don't think he's ever coming back. I don't think he's coming back, and to be honest, I don't think he should. He's not in the best of health. It'd be a bad idea. I don't think Christian Cage should have any help. There's one thing that Christian said in that entire promo that actually bolds relevance and should be revered. When he said there's a long list of people that want to kick his ass, that should be no one helping him. He's right. No one should help him. And yet Adam Cole should retire. He's healthy to carry on, but I don't think he's healthy enough to wrestle. Personally, I don't want him to come back ever. He's got Spike. That's all he needs. From one terrible from one really awkward promo to a terrible promo, FTR with that fucking knob cheese Stokely Hathaway. I'm skipping this. This guy fucking can't talk. I'm skipping this. Fucking horrible. Moving on. MJF tries to sort shit out with the Hurt Syndicate. Shelton Benjamin gives him the thumb down, tells him he's upset by the Temu Rolex. If they're building up to this combustible element going, then good. Because there's people who think he's still in there, they're going to help win the world title. He's going to get booted out, at least another faction. End of the day, MJF does not fit in the Hurt Syndicate. He doesn't fit. And it's not because, it should be a black faction or a white faction or a mixed race faction. No, it's MJF just does not fit their dynamic. When you look at if you look at how the Hurt Syndicate act, that's not MJF's character at all. Like, lo and behold, he is cowardly. He is the wrong type of executioner. Like, he executes poorly. Opportunity-wise, doesn't take as much as he should. Whereas the Hurt Syndicate is about brutal, demonic destruction. And quite frankly, when it's business over pleasure, MJF is too busy getting his thumb sucked by masseuses. And that's not the Hurt Syndicate. That in itself shows to me the dynamic doesn't fit. That doesn't mean MJF is a terrible wrestler. It doesn't mean Lashley and Benjamin and MVP suck. They don't. But you put them together, it's like the Four Horsemen, but instead of Ric Flair as the world champion and in the Four Horsemen, you put in there the Brooklyn Brawler. Now, I'm not saying MJF is a jobber. I'm just saying Brooklyn Brawler is comedic. The Four Horsemen were not comedic. The Hurt Syndicate like to have a laugh and a joke, but they're not a comedic faction. It doesn't strike me as important. It doesn't strike me as reliable. Wardlow's finished. Forget Wardlow. Wardlow needs to be told you're not getting anywhere. Wardlow, in terms of wrestling, that's it. He's irrelevant. I think it's going to be Hammerstone, a far better wrestler, far better physical presence. The Hurt Syndicate needs somebody like Omos. I agree. Omos would be a lot better in AEW. He's a physical giant presence, and not because he's a giant, but Omos has a giant presence. He's actually something that can give you a different opportunity, a different dynamic. It doesn't put people in a fear of losing position, but it makes it more complete. Shelton Benjamin is the most complete wrestler in that faction. MVP, the voice. Lashley, a brutal powerhouse. And then you've got Omos, who just hit you with his last ride powerbomb and break you in half. I said it, 2 weeks ago, that Omos should have left WWE, and if he did, I would put him in AEW quickly. Plain and simple, I would. Omos is one of the very few wrestlers that I did not like that won me over. He won me over. Which is very hard to do. That level of respect is earned, and Omos earned mine. Up next, everyone's banned from ringside. He did. But when he joined the Nation, he wasn't comedic. That's my point. Like, they're not, like, using Owen Hart in a way it's similar, but it still doesn't stand out for me. It's a bad feeling. MJF should not be in the Hurt Syndicate. Quite frankly, MJF, if he had a set of balls between his legs, he should be ruling AEW like an iron fist. Like, he should be all in it, trying to rule the whole damn thing. The guy acts like he's the best thing there, all royal and free. Well, prove it. Everyone's banned from ringside. One man comes through the back, the other comes through the front. World Championship match. Moxley challenges for the first time since losing the belt at All In 3 weeks ago. Considerably, it's the wrong position on the show, but in terms of just the match, very brutal. Now, there are 3 separate pile drivers. One on the steel steps, one on the apron, one in the ring. If Hangman Page doesn't have any remote neck issues after this match, I will be amazed. I will be amazed. Not saying it because Moxley isn't safe or Hangman isn't safe taking it. I'm just saying it's the pile driver. Like, it's crazy, but credit to them for doing it. And for 25 minutes, their pacing goes well. Like, you can tell that both men aren't exhausted. They're not like gassed out or anything like that. But you just knew that we were going to get that inevitable ref bump. Here comes the Death Riders. They're going to get involved some way, somehow. Marina Shafir hits Hangman. Well, she hits him with his face first in terms of stealing the looks. But then she hands the World Championship to Moxley, who plants him with the World title for a 2 count only. Paul Turner manages that. He does get security to eject the Death Riders from ringside. Darby Allin from one of the theater balcony areas. He does his flying cross body, takes everyone else out before he runs away. Darby Allin's place in the story is matching, but last week he was not effective. This week we got to see him do some action. I want to see more from Skater Boy, but we can see that he has still got a part to play. Whatever that part is, we'll find out. But I want to see what we get from him, because I'm not fully sure what his, like. There's a potential chance here where not Hangman, Darby Allin's number of matches starts to dip, similar to Crow Sting. I'm not saying Darby Allin and the Crow Sting are completely similar. What I'm saying is, when he became the Crow Sting, his matches in WCW went down a lot. So you might see less of Darby Allin in terms of matches, but more difference of story, like a different variety of storytelling. I'm eager to see what they do though, because end of the day, it is a fundamental that could offer a lot if they just find the right feeling around it. Second, what's this? But it's the way they see it coming, is the way they move on it. I thought the match was fine. I just wish it was the main event. But I'm not going to hate on the match because it wasn't. I just wish it was the main event in general. Both men really tried to end it the best way they could. The violent mannerisms. That I like. Both men really tried their best to tear each other apart for the sake of the world title. And it was really well done. I like the variety of pile drivers as well that Moxley used as well. That's something I really was impressed with. And I like as well that Moxley, because he knows Danielson so well, was like, I am not taking these stomps. I did like that. I thought that was excellent. Possibly Darby appearing in the rafters now and then, rappelling down. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're going to see some mannerisms like that. Yeah, same here. I think it's going to be excellent. I think it's going to be one of their best summer feuds. Like, there's a specialty here, like a true specialty. We have women's tag team action next. Athena and Billie Starks versus the timeless one, Toni Storm and Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor back in Dynamite action following her collision defeat to Athena last weekend for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. Of course, Toni Storm got involved protecting Alex Windsor after the match due to the beatdown. I'm liking the consistency that we're getting from Athena now, not just on Ring of Honor, but on AEW television. You can see they're getting ready to bring her up fully onto Dynamite, which is good. Billie Starks is getting there. Like, she has a lot there, but she's still getting there in terms of finding her place and her position. Alex Windsor's come in. She cemented herself really well. And Toni Storm, what else can we not say that's not being said about Toni Storm? Toni Storm is women's wrestling right now. She makes women's wrestling feel more than just a place. Like, she has it locked in. And when this character eventually either dies off or she just says I'm done, because you never know, she might just turn around tomorrow and say, "Yeah, I've done everything I need to do. I'm done now." She won't. I'm just being hypothetical. You're gonna miss timeless Toni Storm. She is on a level that not many can keep up with. I like how her strategies work as well. She's a very good strategist. Very good. Even better as well how the match ends as a general tag versus a blind tag, and it's the all-face victory for Athena. The Ring of Honor Women's World Champion defeats the AEW Women's Champion. Well, Women's World Champion, I should say. Excellent tag team. Both, you could say that Alex Windsor, and she could well be the next protege for Toni Storm, perhaps. We don't know. Obviously, there's a bit more experience there, but it's still really good. And I like that even though they're bringing up Mina Shirakawa in matches, Windsor is at least making it believable that she can get moved away. Of course, like, the win's so important. The win is so important that when she lets you beat her, it's you know that something good is coming. But I thought it was really well done. Like, that's something that I just can't overlook. And that's something to me that I'm like, yeah, I can see this going somewhere. I just want them to get fully behind it, invest so much time and effort, promote it like crazy, and they'll see some relief. We go to backstage. Ricochet with the GOA interrupts Mark Briscoe. Yeah, their chemistry is excellent, Marion. It's not a bad idea, Billy. Bleach, not a bad idea for Billy at all. I like that. Ricochet obviously is talking about he wants to get his hands on MJF. No remorse, none of that. True power. Before he gets interrupted, obviously, by Ricochet and GOA. The match itself, really, I get why people think, why is this the main event? But in all fairness, there's a story here between MJF and Mark Briscoe, obviously including the world champion. And I am really liking it. I actually think we can see a push that's not being forced. We can see a push that's actually improving the product, and we can see talent that are actually taking the job and the position seriously. And I like this. And I thought Ricochet, especially in this match, did really well. His timing is perfect. His moves are sharper. It's almost as if Ricochet has finally rediscovered himself. Whereas Mark Briscoe just gets it. Like, when you look at Mark Briscoe, you don't see a tag team wrestler anymore. Like, this is no disrespect to his brother and their legendary tag team run. It's not that at all. When I look at Mark Briscoe now, I fully differentiate him between single and tag team. I see a full-blown successful singles wrestler with a great success of a past wrestler. He has pretty much. I'm not going to say he's a Copeland or a Shawn Michaels or anything like that, because that would be 100% disrespectful to Jay, because Jay was a great wrestler in his own right, but also he is resting in peace. It would be absolutely cynical. When I look at, in general, though, you can say that Mark Briscoe is really standing out on his own, and it is good to see. He is basically Billy Gunn compared to the Road Dogg. I think Billy Gunn's a far better wrestler than Road Dogg, far better character all round. And I can see it between him and Jay in that circumstance. Whereas Jay is like, when I watched their tag matches together, Jay for me was like the HBK of the group. Or even better yet, he was in a more different circumstance. He was like the Bobby Roode compared to James Storm. Like, you can see a complete package between two good wrestlers. And that's what I liked about Jay, and that's what I like about Mark, is they split it so well. But Mark Briscoe is fully redefined. When you watch his matches, you don't need to worry about a thing. No one is going to get hurt. You know, everyone's going to get a chance to get their work in, but also you're going to see compromise within the ring. Timing wise, you're going to see the one or two odd spots that will show the crowd that actually this is off the cuff, this is clever. And of course, we do get interference, obviously, from Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. To which point, Brody King and Bandito, who will have a match with Khan and Leona tonight on Collision, they come out and deal with the GOA. And then, of course, the Chicken Man from Delaware, he gets the win with the J Driller. Following the victory, he calls out MJF and he really tears into him. He tears into Christian, but MJF gets one back spectacularly by confirming we're going to have a match next week. But the mannerisms that I'm cooking with, you get to see the light. Briscoe calls out MJF. He gets stuck with a knife to the back. I can actually feel comfort from their story. MJF is going to be the one who gets all the glory. But one thing's for sure. Max Caster, you still stink of manure. And that's why he wasn't on the show. Fantastic. We are really seeing dynamics building, and I actually am impressed. My only concern from creative is just don't rush it. Simply crush it. And I'm right in there for it. I'm glad that MJF asked for this story, and I'm glad that Mark Briscoe agreed with it, because if it didn't, I feel like it would be a missed opportunity. Because I don't want to see MJF all the time going after AEW's original stars. I want to see him go for stars that stood out elsewhere, that can actually come in and make the dynamic strong. So when I watch MJF and Mark Briscoe, I truly know that the show isn't going to go wrong. I really do, because I know that we're in safe hands. And I actually said it earlier on, and I say it again. If Mark Briscoe took the title from Hangman Page, that really does set a good stage. Why on earth am I talking like a rapper? That is weird. I'm not saying Mark Briscoe needs to be a Bryan Danielson from 2013 when he cashed in Money in the Bank. But Mark Briscoe, when he had the Money in the Bank cashed in on him. But if he wins the title and you get that, I would take it in a heartbeat. Is Toni Storm still the underdog? No. Not now. She's the overwhelming favourite. But Athena's got her number. But credit to MJF, he played Mark like a fiddle. But then Hangman came out and then MJF did a piddle. Man called him a coward after beating Mark down from behind. All I saw from MJF was a scary man in hide. If this is your dynamic all the way up to all out, I'm okay with that. Because I don't know when MJF is going to cash in his title shot. But I want to see Mark Briscoe get at least one world title match, win, lose, or draw. I think Billie Starks is the one that beats Athena. I still think she beats her for the Ring of Honor title instead. Athena's very clever, and not many people praise her that much as well anymore, which is ridiculous. But that woman is an incredible wrestler, and she's got a great gimmick as well, and she's got very good promo skills that are so incredible to listen to. She's enjoyable, and I love that Mark Briscoe said, like before, obviously the low blow and the interruption as well. I absolutely love that Mark Briscoe was like, I would have no remorse if I killed MJF for bringing up my dead brother. I thought that was really good. Athena's IQ is right up there, though. I think it's very close. Deonna's not going to win a world championship in AEW. That's how you know I'm a real Deonna fan. It's because I know it's not going to happen. She's probably going to win when they eventually make it happen, the pure championship. But quite frankly, I would give her a major title. But they're not doing it. No worries, my mate. I'm about to get out of here anyway. But I certainly thought, bar the show order, it was a fun watch. Now we move on to Collision, and we'll see what happens there. Nah, Deonna's superior to Jada Parker. Deonna Purrazzo was an established wrestler. The problem is, I think she has to walk away from something that's important. She needs to just redefine the virtuoso gimmick. She needs to do what I said her gimmick should be. She needs to change the virtuosa and become the professor. She needs to become the professor or the historian. That's what it is. She needs to be the historian of professional wrestling. Come to the ring with like wrestling books talking about wrestling holds and certain moves. Dressed like a historian or a librarian like that, and then wrestles, and then afterwards she explains, "I beat you with this move because this is his impact, this is legacy." Because that gets her over, and it still establishes her as she's still a good wrestler. But I feel like the virtuosa part, for all the things that stands to it, and it is good, I think it's missing something. I would change her to the historian, and by that point, she's got nothing to lose. Collision review, probably. We've still got, obviously, Ring of Honor, and we've got TNA as well tomorrow as well. We can see about doing that. If not, we'll maybe do it Friday. We've got a lot on this weekend as well. We've got more G1 stuff. We've got SummerSlam. It's going to be mental. There's so much to cover. But one thing that we don't need to worry about is bad wrestling, because we got a good one. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to get here because I actually am hungry. I've not had any dinner yet. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, 100%. I thank you all for tuning in. You've all been great. I will see you all tomorrow. And look out for each other. Stay safe. And remember, I may be the voice of this channel, the owner, But you guys, you bring soul. Good night.